Um, no, I think we have no idea. Review. Fine, folks. We're trying to get Cameron
All right,
working
I
right now.
should be back now. All right, everybody, welcome to this week's PRL Week in Review for Charlotte, as well as we're going to briefly touch on the All Star race at North Wilkesboro. I'm Camron Arendt, driving in number 3.
Dakota Nichols, driver of the 24.
It's been a pretty eventful last 2 weeks in multiple different ways. How's it going for you?
Oh man, it's we'll touch on it in a few places tonight. So tire issues with Charlotte, and then we move on to North Wilkesboro, and that was interesting in its own ways. Um, you know, we'll try to, I know we wanted to keep this show kind of short, but there's so much. There's so much. And the disparity between the two tracks that we've experienced in the past week is definitely 180. So,
Yeah, went from a mile and a half racetrack with a bunch of drama to surprisingly a short track with not quite as much drama. So,
well, I wouldn't say not as much drama, just drama for different reasons.
very true, very true. All right. Well, I guess with that, if you don't have anything else before this, we can jump into your poll out from Charlotte.
Yeah. Like anything else I'll have, we'll just get there when we get there. A lot to cover this week. We're not missing James for the next 2 weeks, or the past 2 weeks rather. Got a lot to catch up on. So,
Yep. All right. So this is your poll lap. Can't remember what your poll time was, but I don't think anybody was surprised to see you sitting on the pole here.
no, this is basically what I spent all week working on. A couple fuel runs, but this was just the majority of my testing. Was just making sure to get that first pit stall. It was definitely key on pit stops, and there you see. I was gonna say it was a 29.2, but no, we got super close with a 29.307. And and the crazy thing is you had one shot at it. The tire wear that we were just talking about,
first Dakota
pushing that fast is just you got one lap to do it. After that one lap, if you didn't hit it right, your tires were done. So,
Yep. It was tough. I don't remember where I qualified. I think qualified. Yeah, 6. So could have been better. Um, but yeah, it was an interesting to say the least. Trying to get to
yeah,
it here,
and
but
me and you kind of having to take the EOL. We knew it was going to be tough, but it's something that me and you have kind of, put our heads together and come up with a game plan throughout the week, and we'll let it unfold here. We'll touch on it because he's already put it on his car. If everyone will pan their eyes to James here, if we can get it on James' car real quick. We have
where's he at?
come up
There
with
he
the
is.
scheme for the bracket challenge. Blue splitter, blue above the window, blue spoiler. That's going to be for all of our guys in the bracket challenge for the next, what is it, 5 weeks, 6 weeks?
4 weeks. So
Four
next
weeks.
month.
Okay. Yeah, so next month. I didn't realize he had already put that on the score, but since it's here, there you go.
A little bit of discrepancies on some of the paint schemes, given that this was recorded last week, and so iRacing actively updates your paint schemes. So we're seeing all the new schemes that might be on there.
But getting the green here, like we were just talking about, me and you taking up the back row, knowing the tire wear, knowing this place is really hard to pass in. You can go 3 wide here, but retroactively, there's really only one and a half lanes to race on. So,
Yep, and it was, you can see from it was tough for us to even get around a lot of the cars, even if somebody made a mistake.
No, it was just wait the tires out. The guy in front of you is going to be faster than you, and just kind of keeping yourself in that mindset of, okay, he's going to be faster than me right now. I just have to wait till later on to make my move. And it was real easy to just get into that mindset of, dang, I need to get around this guy and get up to the front, but pretty clean start, I
Yep.
would say. A lot better than we expected. This race it's got a lot of green in it. Overall, it was pretty good up until the end. We'll get there. But everybody's kind of single filed out here. I think Griffin's going to let Steven up. And that's kind of going to be it for a while as far as racing. Just everybody's going to start waiting each other's tires out. Oh, Griffin's going to go right back to the inside. Maybe I'll lie.
Yeah, there was a decent amount of racing, side-by-side racing this first run. Doesn't really get single file necessarily until that second run, I think.
Yeah, I think just what we knew was going to be the issue. I think everybody didn't pick up on until the second run. This first run, you see a lot of side by side, a lot of wearing of the tires. Just kind of fell into our lap as far as we had already game planned for that. So
Yeah, but I think we both really handled this first run pretty well, being able to navigate getting through the field, but also not absolutely going through our tires. You so more than me, but I mean, it really showed. I mean, you were running first, and I was running fourth after this first pit stop, or before this first pit stop.
yeah, yeah, for sure.
Go through the field. James running fourth early in the race, and Steven. Brandon running his Holiday Dash scheme. He decided to run that for the All-Star races as one-off paint scheme. Still on the car. Hunter.
Yeah, that's the. I think a lot of people are running their All-Star scheme here just because we're a little late.
Some pretty cool paint schemes, though, throughout the field every week. So
Oh yeah,
it's finally working our way forward a little bit.
we've passed one car.
Hey, I said a little bit.
One car. Now, but we are getting to that point of tire wear, and everybody's just. I think honestly, we start just making all the passes. Everybody blew through their tires the first 10 laps here.
Yep.
When I skip to 20, we can get a little bit farther into us working through the field. And you can see us, every lap passing a car side by side here.
Yep.
Should be about halfway. No, not even. We've passed 4 cars.
Yeah. Well, a little bit more than 4. We're up to 10.
It felt like it took forever, dude. Like I said, just keeping yourself in that mindset of just being patient. We finally start making our way through the main pack here. You so more than me.
Yeah, this first section, we was kind of a ping pong between the two of us. One of us would start charging forward, and then the other one would get caught on the bottom, and then it would turn itself around in a couple laps, and so we were kind of trading positions a lot.
Yeah, and it was very top dominant, especially when the tires got a little bit of wear on them. So making those passes, the later and later we get into this run, they got tougher and tougher. So you're able to put yourself in position on the top, so you're gonna make your way up there faster than I.
Yep. Ooh. Oh, here's our first little incident that we discussed before, but we got James.
Yeah.
Where's James?
I think
too far.
I think I remember James
James.
takes 3 wide here, not knowing it was 3 wide.
Yep. So just a little bit of contact. Everybody gets gathered up.
It could have been a lot worse for sure.
Absolutely.
Absolutely murdered my run on the outside there. I had to regroup. Still single file up front. Jared's getting a little antsy. He's been working around the outside of Griffin here on lap 22. But just not able to get it. And you know, that's the other thing, is that the outside was pretty dominant, but if you make that late move to the outside, you're not going to get there. I mean, that's what it was in 3 and 4. Was he went in behind Griffin and then just kind of trailed up the racetrack, and it was worse off than just running the bottom. Oh, Cameron running Steven into the wall.
Yeah, let's see if we can find
Cameron running Steven up into the wall here.
quite if we made contact there. Let's see if I can find there.
He didn't make contact. He kept coming up because he was trying to get to your outside.
Yep, just not quite.
Nah, I think he was more focused on your bumper than it was the wall.
Yep, don't look like we really made contact or anything. I don't even remember that, so interesting, but yep. A little bit of a challenge for the lead out of Griffin. Trying to take it from Brody. That's where that's where I got my wheel damage. Just not realizing where the wall was.
Well, not only that, but the arrow. You coming up off the corner behind people is it's not ideal. That's something that me and you discovered. Actually, I think it was right before you did that. Just you get up behind somebody mid-corner in the apex, and I mean, that car just wanted to shoot up the racetrack all the way off.
Just not wanting to push it with that damage and just getting trapped in the bottom. I wasn't trying to risk anything there. Still kind of feeling it out.
Yeah. And like you were just talking about, I mean, a lot of side-by-side racing here. This pack is still tight, and we're 25 laps into this race.
I mean, it's a hell of a job by everybody in this that we didn't get any cautions or big wrecks to start this race at least.
Yeah, if you want to go back right there, look at the two of us through 3 and 4. I was going to touch on it, and I was taking a sip of water. You can tell the shift right here at lap 25, where we were helping each other get through the field, and then right here, instead of giving you the top, we start racing each other.
Yeah, I think I wasn't trying to slide it up in front of you there. I think it's just my. Oh, I really did not do Brandon any favors there. But
you were with the late blocking, man. Jeez.
I'm sorry for that, Brandon, if you're watching this. Yeah, I don't even remember that. That's terrible. I need to do better on that. But yeah, I knew you weren't going to give me the spot there, so I was just trying to. I think he was just pushing with the damage, so it didn't use to exactly how far I could push the car.
Yeah. I tried to get to James's outside there, give him a little bump right here in the middle of the corner. Not intentional. I just didn't expect him to check up that much.
Sure.
Well, I didn't, and I was trying to keep up the momentum enough to not give you the top, but that little bump in the middle and 1 and 2, I'd take it again here, but you could have slid me. Just how much I had to check up after I bumped him, so. I really turned on my aggression button here after 25, like we were just talking about, and so the moves get a little bit more erratic, a little bit more aggressive from here on out.
A little bit more side-by-side racing, allowing us to make a couple more passes.
Yeah, and I don't know if we were just that much faster than everybody at this point, or if it was just the fact that they were racing each other. There's that. I do remember that.
Dakota Nichols decided he didn't want to be next to.
It looked really bad, but I thought he was going to keep coming up the racetrack, and so I moved up and I bounced off the wall.
Yeah, we can go to. If I can find the chase camera, there's one. Just. Oh, that's great.
I really thought he was going to chop block me here, and so I freaked out and bounced off the wall.
Yeah. It's just incidental contact. I think everybody was able to save it pretty well. Well, by everybody, I mean James. He probably wasn't too happy with that, though. But
I wasn't really mad about it. I remember watching his replay, and he didn't know what happened, but he was just more like, dang, what are we doing?
Brody falling off a little bit after leading the first portions of this race.
Yeah, I know. I talked to Brody a little bit after the race, and he said he knew tire wear was going to be bad, but he got himself so far behind the 8-ball in the first run. I think he got a meatball for tires. He wore them off so bad, had to pit early, and he said he knew it was going to be bad, but he didn't know it was going to be as bad as it was.
Yeah, and I think he made a switch after this first run in strategy to make one extra stop and see if just by running faster if he would be able to make up any finishes there. I think he actually ended up with a decent enough finish after all the cautions we had late, but showing speed like he does every week.
I know we got the off week next week. I'm kind of hoping everybody sticks with it. That's what we get a long break. All-Star break was also kind of a little bit of an off week too. Honestly, it wasn't a points paying race. It was kind of optional. So ready to see everybody back here after the break.
Yep, it'll be a fun one at Pocono. Looking forward to that track.
I really feel like Pocono is going to be more of a fuel. I feel like every week you've had a different problem with the car, which is a good thing.
Absolutely.
You don't get stale. Auto Club was fuel, but also tires. Then we come to Charlotte, and it was straight tires, not really fuel. Got a force issue on the outside of Griffin here. But yeah, where else? We went to Coda. I don't really know. I didn't race that one. I couldn't tell you what the problem was there, but I know the car was.
Tires.
You had to fight something.
Tires and setup, mainly. Setup was good, but tires were wore out real easy.
I feel like we've had a fresh problem every week, a little bit of a different battle every week, keeping it interesting versus just, I don't know. Next gen was just save a little bit of fuel the first 2 runs and take care of your tires, and it was just the same thing every week. And I feel like this week we haven't had the same problem every week.
Yeah, it's been nice having different. It's been nice having different issues to deal with every week and kind of having that unpredictability factor, keeping everything fresh week in, week out.
I noticed Griffin kind of picked up on our line here when we got up here. Everybody else was either straight running the top or straight running the bottom, and there was a lot of side-by-side, so you kind of had to, but the little bit of inner high and then cut down the racetrack, I feel like that really helped me keep the tires under me later in the run.
Yeah, it helped me just be able to know when to pick up the throttle and different things like that that you taught me. Just being able to run that line just kind of helped me be able to save my tires a little bit better.
Oh yeah. Working on Steven here. He threw a little bit of a slider back on me. I love to see that. Didn't just let me have it. Steven's tough. I know he ready for him to get one this season in the wingspan race. He's been there. Definitely had the pace. I think he just had some tough luck at Atlanta. I can't remember what happened. I think he ended up in the wall late. But he's been top 5 everywhere we went this season, so I'm definitely ready to see him get one.
Yeah, he's been really fast. Some of the strategy, I feel like, just with pit stops late in the race has put him a little bit behind the 8 ball, I feel like, but he won with the strategy at the All-Star race, being able to jump out in front of everybody there at the end and never look back.
Yeah, we'll touch on that when we get there. But yeah, pit stop strategy at the All-Star race just kind of hurt a lot of people.
Yeah.
But Steven's hanging tough right now. I think I've been working on him for about 6 or 7 laps, so still hanging out there on the outside.
Griffin giving a little shove.
Gripping all over my rear bumper. I thought he was gonna wreck me here. I'm not gonna lie, but he did help me for sure. Clear Steven right here, and then all she wrote from there on this run. Finally able to run the line I want to run, so be me the rest of this run. If we want to skip to the first pit cycle here, should be coming up pretty soon.
Alright, will be this next lap here.
Yeah, I know Griffin was in my wake here. I knew tires were going to be an issue. I think I ended up pitting here with 2 laps of fuel left. I was really trying to wait Griffin out as long as I could, but also we know in this car, if you're the last guy to pit, you're going to get cycled out pretty bad. And so 2 laps of fuel left for me here, and I decided it's time to come in early, try to, stay ahead on tires versus getting left behind.
Yep, and I don't doubt that Griffin was waiting for one of us to hop down pit road to pit. He's very good on tire or fuel management.
He is for sure, and I kind of felt like if I went the extra lap that he was going to come in anyway, and so I wanted to go one more lap just to make sure that I went as long as I could, but I just kind of felt like if I stayed out there, he's coming in, and then he gets 3-4 seconds on me at the end of the pit cycle. So
So you come out there in first. Griffin not too far behind. And then this is where my race kind of started going to shit. Just losing it. Not quite spinning all the way around. But looking at the gap between where Griffin is and where I'm at, I was right up a lot closer than that at least. Coming out of the pit cycle there. You see James coming in a couple laps later. Where you at? There you are. It's good come out 6 here. James leads a couple laps, going for that 30+ laps led bonus point.
yeah, and he's gotten good at getting those points again, but I think this race, him staying out to get those points, it put him way too far behind to do anything.
Yep, it's a risk. Sometimes, some tracks you might not be as big of an issue, but some tracks you might, like this race, lose so much time that it might not necessarily be worth it if you think you have a shot at top 5 or even the win.
Yeah, for sure.
Just a calculated risk that each driver has to make for themselves.
Oh yeah, and who knows? I've didn't really look at the points coming out of Charlotte, but who knows? Maybe that extra bonus point actually was worth more than where he finished.
I know he got a better finish just because of the rash of cautions late kind of saved him. He was able to scrounge up top five. So it didn't end up mattering here in the end, but if we end up going green all the way, that could have been really costly for him.
Oh yeah. That's the pit cycle.
Mm-hmm.
You want to skim through this second run because I know it's a whole lot of nothing this whole run. Oh, we'll touch on this since it's happening. I was very aggravated with Jim right here. Not so much after the race, but just I thought he was going to give me the inside, and he did not. He was really running me tough. But I mean, it's a good thing. Past couple weeks, I know Charlotte's not his biggest forte, but I mean, he's been showing the speed. You know, a lot more so than last season. I know the next gen car was. I had my own struggles with the next gen car. It's really just a hunk of brake on four wheels, but he's really been hanging it tough. You know, putting up the lap times, kind of running with the leaders a little bit. So you love to see that.
Yep, and I mean
It's kind of been a double-edged sword for me. I mean, I know you ran me tough here. You ran me tough at the All-Star break, go lap down, but like just seeing him have the speed to be able to do that, it's kind of cool.
Yep, I mean he's been. You can see the confidence this season. The fact that he's just not going to just pull over. He feels like he's confident enough to kind of race to try to keep that lap or that position. And you love to see it. You love to see everybody be confident enough in themselves to really race it out and try their best.
For sure.
Now we can cycle through the pack, see if anything's happening. A little bit of a battle here between Steven and Brandon. And then Kyle right behind.
Yep, and Steven pitted a lap earlier than us on that first pit stop. And you just see the trade-off, pitting too early, pitting too late. You know, he lost a little bit pitting by himself there, so.
Then you have Salt there, trying to work our way back up. And you'll have James come up here. We can stay on us two here, because I know we have a little bit of a battle when James gets to me.
Yeah, we can get to that.
See, I definitely think I could see exactly what James was talking about when we were talking about me potentially coming down into him. I think that definitely unintentional on my part. Now looking at it, I can see I was just trying to follow my line that I was doing, as we discussed earlier, kind of entering middle, going bottom, and I definitely got to adjust that line when there's somebody coming up my inside like that a little bit better.
Yeah, and it's just one of those things of watching your mirror, but also trying to run your line, and you got to dabble a little bit with both at the same time. I mean, running your own line and not knowing where the guy behind you is, you know, you'll get some unintentional chop blocks, so.
Pretty clean so far. I think it gets a little bit iffy as we go along.
He's definitely trying, you know, diving it in there. In some ways, I feel like that hurt his tires, but
I think he definitely did wear his tires out a little bit more than I did. Later in the run, I pull away from him a little bit. Not incredibly. His tires still weren't that bad, but I definitely put, I think, a second on him later in the run.
yeah, and that's just, you know, that was the whole thing, the weighing your options thing that we talked about all week with the saving tires, like we did on the first run, and I think you hurt your tires a little bit more than you should have on the second run, but I mean, after almost spinning coming off a pit road, you had to make up something.
Yep, and you see the difference in age of tires here with Brody on 24 lap tires and myself on 17, and then James on 15 lap tires.
Yeah, it's like we were just talking about. Birdie had a pit early, getting that meatball for his tires the first run, and now just behind the 8 ball the rest of the race.
And then you'll see me pull away a little bit. I'm not sure if James gets back to me before these pit stops coming up. I think he was fast enough that he was able to kind of close the gap sometimes, and then it would widen a little and close as we were going through traffic. Oh, and gets to me here.
I think y'all were about the only battle on the track this whole run.
I think so, from what I could tell when I was racing. Didn't look like there was a whole lot of cars that were really even that close. Pretty decent gaps between each car.
Gets to your inside again here.
I was definitely putting myself up the track, just not wanting, because I knew I could defend a little bit better on the outside line as opposed to the inside line, just being able to get off the corner.
Yeah.
But he was strong throughout the run. Every time I thought that I had him, he would be able to come back to me. Really fun battle though, being able to battle like this 87 laps into the race with no cautions. It gets in the wall a little there.
Yeah, they halfway through the race here, racing like this. I mean, it's definitely. I mean, now you're the only battle on the racetrack, so.
Yeah, true. So some of it's just happenstance.
But to be racing like that mid race, like you said, I mean, you are the only battle, so it wasn't very common. Just to be able to do this halfway through the race, I'm sure it was a blast.
Well, you didn't have fun with your 8.1 second lead here?
Well, I mean, I did, but the rash of cautions late is something I didn't want to see. It's kind of annoying.
Definitely saved my race. I was happy to see it.
I ended up having to do a little bit more driving than I wanted to, so.
I was trying to steal it from you at the end.
Yeah, you were definitely trying to, that's for sure. That's why I didn't want to see the caution come out. I knew it was just going to be a reset. Who got the best jump?
Alright, so we'll hop back to... I'm clicking the wrong button. Got pit stop starting here.
I think, yep. I come in as soon as I know I can make it to the end here.
Yep, Griffin and Jared follow you down. James stays out. I decide to pit with you. I think that's the last of the group that pits here. Brandon might. Nope.
I know James stays out super late this time.
So, yep, we got Edward. I think he was already down pit road. You get out here. Get out clean. And you see Jared. Oh, was Jared behind you coming into this pit stop?
No, it was Griffin. I think Jared kind of leaped him there, but just, I mean, they were nose to tail coming in, nose to tail coming out.
Yep, so I gain a little bit of time after this, but still the Dakota show.
Yeah, unfortunately, and then the rest of this run to this caution is just going to be a bunch of just turning laps. So if we want to skip to that caution, that gets us set up for the end there.
James just making his pit stop here. He should be. Or no, is he? Yeah, he did. This is him a lap down, trying to put himself back on the lead lap. There he goes. Let's see. We've got another 10 laps here till that caution. Look at the silence of where you are. There's just no other cars other than you around.
There's no other cars, man. It was just a Sunday drive.
Alright, here's our caution. Let's go find where it was. I think we're all...
It was right. It was James.
Oh, yep. Let's find James here. See if he's... Oh, there it is. Coming up on DJ here. Lap down.
Yeah, DJ's... he's a tough lap car.
Just coming off the wall a little bit. And James, unfortunately, was to his inside, so spun him around. And the caution came out from that.
Yeah. And that's what I didn't want to see.
I love to see it. Running 6 here, I love to see that. But yeah, I think it's just DJ coming off the wall trying to avoid it. James is there. Unfortunately, gets spun around. But with that...
Yeah.
That's also the wreck avoidance here by you. Not necessarily that hard to do, but
I took it slow.
Definitely smarter to go down there rather than keeping it high. There. Just in case he rolls back across the track. But everybody probably coming down here. Put some tires on it.
Yeah, you pretty much had to. I mean, 30 laps on the tires. Well, 33 laps on the tires. I mean, you're going to definitely come in. You're not going to leave yourself out there to dry, so...
The only way I think that staying out works is if the majority of the field also stays out, but even then, there's 10 laps to go here, or a little less than 10 laps to go, so... I do love how this is James's replay. His is the only
it's the only one. I had a really bad slide into my box here. I thought James was going to get me coming off, but fortunately he did not.
Well, James is a lap down there, so still would have kept the lead. Had a little bit of a buffer to second. But
oh, he was a lap down here. That's right.
Yep. You see him fall back there. Let's rewind it a little bit here. So we got the field line back up, ready for another restart. 128 laps into this race since the first start.
And I hate when a race ends like this because I knew it was just going to be about how you could get out of the start box.
Chase Greer showing his speed.
Which I've been fortunate enough to know how to get out of the start box pretty good, but...
Yep, I'll skip off of your car.
Yeah, I know we have another quick one here.
Yep. With the 6 pushing forward on the track, it'll let me put a little window for me to squeeze by. Unfortunately, it puts me on the bottom into 1 and 2. 3 wide bottom into 1 and 2.
Yep, and then forces you to have to make a move.
Big wreck there. Still wrecking. But we will take a look. It's this will be a decent angle. Griffin getting the wall, 3 wide, just not quite knowing, I think, from Steven on the bottom here that they're going to be 3 wide off the corner, and just a bunch of contact.
Yeah.
And then Griffin goes to the shadow realm there.
For the 4th week. Like you said, something like that happen every single week. And with the mounting frustration, I get it, like I said, every single week.
It's definitely tough. Just nowhere for Kyle to go there. Gets back into Griffin. Lots of damage to that car. Let's go ahead and see if I can find the pack. There we go. Okay, there we go. Lost my overlays there for a second, but we got it back. And going to the green here. A little bit of frustration.
And once again, a little bit of frustrations there. It's understood. We're at the wrong person, but in the moment you don't know.
Yep.
So, just a reset, another get out of the box good, and dash to the finish.
I think we actually might have another caution here.
Oh, we have an immediate caution here.
Oh, yeah, I remember. So let's go back here. Shades of Carson Hocevar in Atlanta.
Not
quite as egregious.
Well, it was pretty egregious. I mean, the 10 just, I don't know, drives into his quarter panel. Nothing intentional, I'm sure, but, like we talked about, late restarts, the dashes to the finish. I mean, Steven seemed told to get 3 wide. He's going to take it. You can't fault him for that, but...
Yep.
Unfortunate for Chase. I think this is his first race back with us since Daytona, and was set up for a top 3, and I don't know where he ends up finishing after this.
Yep, I mean, he was running top 5 the whole race after starting from the back with us. Just unfortunate to see somebody that was running top 5 all race not be able to finish there.
And for the last time,
we promised the last one this time.
Get out of the box good. Get out of the box good. Cameron's gonna do his best to make sure I don't win another race I show up to.
Yep. But I think it really comes down to you were able to really save your tires just from getting out of the box good, like you said.
Well, not only that,
and me having
getting
to
out
battle.
of the box good like this, you have to make up all this ground that I get right out of the box. So.
Yep. It was tough to predict exactly where we were going to go, but I had a little bit of a run coming down the back stretch here and then down the front stretch, so I thought I might have a shot, but just not quite enough coming out of turn 2 and up here. There's a little bit of contact with the wall there with James.
Brandon, little top 5 run here. Sneakily, he's quiet, but I feel like we're always talking about him quietly being top 5.
Absolutely.
But yeah, just a little slip up in 1 and 2, I think, from you, and it was all she wrote.
Yep, I don't know necessarily that it was a slip up as much as I just think your tires were there and mine weren't there to be able, because you were able to hold the full throttle here. My tires were not there to be able to do that, so just by the fact of the matter that it's the second lap of the restart, not the first, I'm just not quite able to hold up with you there. So I just, at this point, just settled for second, trying to bring it home. I knew I stole one there probably after the race that I had. Probably would have been happy with the top 5, but I'll take a second. Absolutely.
Yeah, and the 1-2 from the back row.
It was a lot of fun to kind of be able to drive up through there. And granted, who knows how much fun we have if we have a bunch of rash cautions and wrecks in the beginning of the race, but just the fact that I was able to go green, it was fun to navigate the traffic there and all that.
Oh yeah.
We'll get a little bit of a burnout here while I see if I can pull up the points after we left Charlotte. But what are your thoughts on how the race went for you?
Um, you know, kind of like I was saying, the whole race, just I was prepared for the tire wear, and we got that exactly. I know a couple of people got meatballs for tire wear on their runs, and just being prepared for it and having the right game plan was huge. I feel like I probably win that race just in the preparation versus the execution. I mean, you got to have both, but I was definitely prepared, and I feel like that was the difference. So,
Yep, absolutely. You're just still burning it down, not letting anybody. But all right, so I'll pull up top 10 finishers here. So I had top 10. Obviously, yourself with the win. Uh, Second place finish for me. Steven holds on for third. Jared fourth. Then James with the comeback comes into fifth. And Brandon's top 10, much needed top 10 for him. He's had a tough start to the season. Um, then Chase, with his first race back, is able to claw back to seventh after that. Rec, DJ, eighth. Then Kyle and Edwards round out the top 10. All right, and then we got our point standings here coming out of Charlotte. You holding serve at the top of the leaderboard. Uh, Myself holding serve in second behind our 1-2 finish there. Then we got James, Jared, and Steven rounding out the top 5. Pretty close there among second through fifth. All still chasing you, obviously, but.
well, I think the symmetry here is kind of, I missed Coda, and that really reset the grid here. So you're 35 back, but it's 10 back to James, 10 back to Jared, 10 back to Steven. And then outside the top 5, you got 5 back to Kendall, 5 back to Miguel, 8 back to Griffin, 4 back to, but it's just 4 back to Brody, 3 back to Hunter, 5 back to, like, it's tight. It's tight. Anywhere from 6 to, the bubble right there. Chris holding up at 110. I mean, anywhere from 6th to 13th right there. I really feel like is a 1 week swing away from being way different. Not to discredit Edward, and Kyle's new with us, and he's already clawing his way in the hunt there. As far as he's been fast since he came in, tied with Brandon for 15th, and Devin not making all the races. So I mean, these guys closed out the season. What was it? 6 races after the All-Star break.
Well, we'll find out here in a second, but we'll have the rating schedule up here. But yeah, I mean, I think that I wouldn't say that anybody 12th on back should be discouraged or anything like that. I mean, you still have a shot at the championship with the points
Well,
reset going into the playoffs, and then you've got, I mean, obviously not a straight over the board across the board points reset, but it'll definitely tighten up the field when we go into the playoffs.
I was about to say that as you started your statement. We need to get the point standings with the winners on here.
Yep, which is right there.
Yep. Okay. So that changes it up because Griffin's sitting 8th on straight points. But so from 4th, you're 70 above the cut line. James is 58. Y'all two are pretty solid on points. But I mean, from Steven to Chris, 40 points.
Yeah.
It takes a Steven not showing up or something, or somebody having a bad week. Chris has a good week. Strategy, speed. DJ was really fast in the All-Star break. I mean, It's very much up in the air. Um, Kyle, he keeps having the runs that he's having. He can get up in the top 12 and really shake it up for the guys on the bubble already.
Yeah, absolutely, and we can't forget about that bracket champion spot. Um, I do not have the updated bracket for that um, as we go into that starting in here in about a week and a half, Pocono. But that spot is guaranteed. It's treated like a winner, so guaranteed spot into the playoffs. So even if you're 50 points out of the playoffs, if you can manage to win that bracket, then you're in. So that's another way to get in. So season's far from over. I mean, I think just some guys that surprised me. I mean, Jim just being steady all season. He's still in the top 10 in points um, as we run, and he's solidly. I mean, I wouldn't say solidly in the playoffs, but I mean, there's definitely a little bit more breathing rooms than some other people here.
Oh yeah, for sure. Um, I think Jim just probably needs to pick up on the consistency a little bit more. I know he had a tough week at Charlotte, so it's getting to the point where he has to worry about it. But also, I mean, if he can work his way through the bracket and not have to worry about it at all, that'd be great.
Yep. And so with the bracket challenge, I know we don't see 19th and 20th here, but myself will play or race 20th, and then James will race whoever's the 19th. I don't have that with me right now, but then you'll have Steven going against Devin, Kyle going against Brandon, Miguel going against the other Kyle, Jim going against Edward, Chris, and Brody, I believe, and then DJ and Hunter. So those will be your first round matchups. We'll have a graphic put up for that before Pocono. James is the one that handles all of our graphics for the most part, so as soon as he gets a little bit more time, settled down, all that, we'll have that. But we should have that before Pocono finalized for everybody to take a look at. But that'll be what the matchups will be going into Pocono. And then we'll have the rest of the schedule here. So just had the All Star race in North Wilkesboro this past Sunday. We'll probably touch on that a little bit here. Then we'll have a bracket challenge from Pocono to Watkins Glen. That'll give us another playoff spot taken. And then we'll have wrap the regular season up with Kansas Talladega. So that's 6 more
Talladega
races.
being right there at the end of the regular season is such a wild card. You love to see that.
Yep, and that's kind of what we were going for with the same reason they wrap up the regular season with Daytona in real life, because with us still having the winning in, we're going to see some really aggressive racing from laps 85 to 94 there, if not before that. Just people trying to race their way in, and it'll be really interesting how that gets. I know I'm hoping to not have to worry about that. I mean, granted, I'm farther up the cut line here, so shouldn't be too big of an issue for me, assuming I don't have a monumental collapse here, but I'm prone to that. With
I'm
my
gonna say you've done it
so
before.
yeah, so we don't need to talk about the playoffs last season, so so yeah, we'll have that for the rest of the regular season. I guess just a reminder for the bracket challenge. If you win a race, we get a new winner that's in the bracket challenge. You'll basically forfeit your bracket challenge matchup, and so whoever you're going against will just advance from there. Given that you get your automatic qualifier from winning that race, we're not gonna give as many people a shot to get that as we can there. But it'll be interesting to see going into Watkins Glen who are the two drivers battling it out for that. And then we'll really know more about exactly what the playoff field is going to look like going into Kansas and Talladega there. We'll know who the bracket challenge winner is, and that'll be interesting to see as we get to that. And then just a gauntlet of a playoffs there. Um, 3.5 mile tracks, if you want to call Homestead a 1.5 mile track. Then we got the real wild card, in my opinion, is going to be the Roval. Um, just because even though we know who's the faster drivers on road courses, I think it's going to be a little bit of just how tight and confined that racetrack is. Um, can definitely see some mistakes being made there. Um, we got Texas, Dover, and Chicagoland to decide the championship, but I think that's all we've got for the schedule. Um, do we want to go into the All Star race at all, or what are we thinking there?
Um, we'll skim through it. Not a whole lot to cover as far as the All-Star race goes, but we'll skim through the Open at least, or not the Open. We'll skim through the feature at least.
All right, so let me go
If you
ahead.
wanna, yeah, you wanna get the All-Star race pulled up, and we'll take a 5 minute.
Yep, we're gonna go ahead and take a break here. Stay tuned. We'll be back right after this. All right, everybody, welcome back. After that short little intermission there, we have North Wilkesboro pulled up for us now. So we're going to be able to get started on that. Any opening thoughts there?
Um, no, not really. We'll just skim through this race. It was some short track racing for the first time this season. I think. Yeah. Yeah, first time we've been on a short track in this car. It was interesting. Uh it's been a while, new people, and it took a long time before we got to race in this race. So,
Yeah.
um we'll just get right into it with that said.
Oh, that doesn't work. There we go. All right. Now we should be good, maybe. Okay, my buttons aren't working, so here we go.
Oh, you need to cover the how we did the grid for this.
Okay, yes. So the grid was covered by our starting grid was the top six were previous winners. We didn't have Jared unable to join us for this one, so uh, that's unfortunate. But so top six is previous winners set by if you had the more wins you had, the more chance you had for the pole. So Dakota with whatever 12 wins that he's got, whatever. Um, he had 12 entries basically to get first, and someone like say Miguel has one win, so he had one entry.
And
Uh,
somehow I didn't get it.
yeah, well, you did originally, and then Miguel ended up showing up, so we had to we had to do a redraw, and so shuffled you back to
And then he
fourth.
somehow magically got the pole.
Yeah, I was happy about it though. I went from like sixth to second, so worked for me.
So
Uh,
he crumbled.
but yeah, so that's how we did that, and then everything on back was set via heat race format. We had an LCQ, so starting with the starting with Kyle, who won our LCQ. He started seventh on back, and from then on out, it was just the finishing order for that LCQ among the non-winners. So our starting lineup had from that would have been Kyle, then Steven, then Brandon, DJ. Actually, that would have been Devin, and then Chris, and then we have Ed rounding out the field. And they're back. Okay. I thought I lost my overlay. But we're back. Alright, so as we get started to the race here,
My bad, dude.
that's the outside line is really dominant the entire race, especially on restarts.
At least
What's going on with this? Oh, well, that's just wonderful.
oh, technical difficulty.
Yep, here, I'm going to go ahead and pause stream real quick so I can figure this out. Sorry about Alright, welcome back. Thanks for being patient, everybody. I guess before we start this real quick, we got breaking news coming in here. If you want to take it away there, Dakota.
Yeah, so we were sitting here waiting for Cameron to fix the technical difficulties, but Brandon Hare won the FNX race tonight, so shout out Brandon. I know he's been running a long time, both here and over there, just looking for a win, and he finally got it. So maybe he can, and it was at a short track, Myrtle Beach, at that. So not an easy win, and so maybe he can take that and run with the momentum over here with us to round out the season.
Hell yeah,
Ended up
congrats.
winning by 4 seconds. Yeah, 4 seconds. 3 cars on the lead lap,
Hell of a
and he
finish.
led 99 laps. So
Hell of a race for him. Well deserved. It's a long time coming for him to get himself a win here. But as we go from that, we'll go ahead and restart our race here. Like I said,
right up Jump Street, you see the outside's good on restarts.
yep, absolutely. Well, that's not the next car I wanted to look at. That one is. Okay. The pace car really wants to be the center of attention right now.
Yeah, we can't have that. It did end up on the racetrack a lot more than we would have wanted to see, but
Jam up the track there. A little better of a camera angle there. Go almost 3 wide into 1, but Kyle backs out of it.
so it was a tough track combo. Miguel loses it in front of me. Oh, it takes out Steven with him. Dang it. Tough track combo, and I'll have to get with everybody moving on to the next season. But as much as I enjoyed it, which obviously I'm going to enjoy it, but I don't know if the short track All-Star race was a big hit.
Yep, and we'll reevaluate as we get closer to next season. I know As we get closer to the playoffs here, we'll start thinking about um, next season a little bit more. Um, so be on the lookout for that. As we definitely take into consideration everybody's opinions on different things. So um, we're gonna have a bunch of polls going up as we get closer to the end of the season.
Sure.
That we're under caution. I managed to screw up my key mines again, so we'll just skip through like this. So I made the mistake of forgetting that you have lane choice. So
I'll take it.
yep.
Just a hard to pass, just cluster, honestly.
Yep.
The few runs we did get, I felt like it raced pretty good, but that was few and far in between.
Yep. Oh, there goes Ed with the next caution. Just a giant pile up with people just not having anywhere to go. Just unfortunate. Let's go back to Dakota Nichols. Alright. Picking the outside for Dakota, doing the smart thing.
Taking the outside. So there was a couple different lines. I'm not gonna say this was a one-line racetrack. There was a couple of different things you could do, but I felt like there was only one prominent line.
Yeah, I think there's definitely a fast line, but I mean, we got another Ed back around again, but it gets it turned back around, but the caution still comes out. Oh, too far. Just losing it on under braking. See that happen with a lot of guys. Gets it straightened out, but it's enough to bring the caution out for the third caution in 15 laps. So that's
Yeah.
back to Dakota. Once again, taking the outside like a smart person.
Yeah, you really killed yourself when you didn't.
Yep. I just completely forgot that it's been so long since I've restarted in the first uh, that I completely forgot.
DJ in the top 3.
Yeah, he was fast this race.
I think he's a short track racer. I mean, he struggled on the mile and a half, but we bring him to a short track, and he really had the speed.
Absolutely. Let's go through the field, see where a little bit more of the battles are taking place.
Ooh. It's real loose. It was good to have him back. I know he ran Coda Miss Charlotte with food poisoning. I want to say, we might as well have this
Ooh, there's
discussion
another wreck.
live. So there's since Steven loses it,
Flips it around.
we might as well have this discussion while we're live. Did Ed Moose and Charlotte put him out of the playoffs?
You talked about like you
Because
talked about like automatic qualifiers.
too many races missed.
Let me
Well, too many races missed.
I'll take a look at that real
Wait,
quick
we'll
while
let
we
this go green here.
let this
No,
go
wait,
green. But
just
I'll take a look
green
at
while you
it.
look at that because there's really not much to look at.
Let me take a look.
Um,
It's gonna be close.
take a look. I got this.
He will be
Well,
auto.
just see because I know. Well, if he missed 4 races, it's.
Let's take a look. I gotta pull up.
File out. Griffin hits the wall. Single file except Kyle and Griffin right now.
Ooh, and Ed loses it again on
Ed losing
exit.
it again.
It's gonna bring out a caution again.
Just tough. So that's 5 cautions in 30 laps.
Let's see, Edwin Tucker. How many races in are we?
We are 6.
Charlotte was 6.
Yeah.
All
No,
right,
this was 6. No, this was 7. This race doesn't count.
Yeah,
towards
so
anybody for not making it, but
yep. So he is still eligible for the win and in. He can't miss another race though. He has 2 starts. So for those of you who don't know, rule is that we do have win and in, but you have to make 8 out of 12 starts. So you're allowed to miss 4 races and still be eligible for that. You're eligible for the playoffs no matter what. Just if you don't make 8 starts through the regular season, then you have to point your way in. You do not get the win and in credit there. So Ed cannot miss another race if he wants to potentially win his way into the race or to the playoffs.
Okay, well that's my apologies for not doing the rule book. I thought if you missed 4 races, you weren't eligible for the playoffs, but
No, you're eligible. You just cannot win and in. Go here.
my apologies to the folks at home. We're gonna go green here. And our field size is dwindling. We're not even halfway through.
For the most, we might have lost a couple people. I think we lost throughout the race, but some
we lost
people
Chris and Miguel right there.
Yep. So that brings field down to 11. Not quite as big of a turnout for this race, given that non-points paying race. No requirements to make this start. I just get caught on the bottom here, and I don't want to. They're too early for me to want to push it, so I let the track position go.
And track position was key.
Yep, as we find out later in the race.
Yeah, unfortunately.
We can skip ahead here as we close in on Jim here. I know we had a little bit of... Oh, well, I just lost it there, but no...
DJ would save. Holy.
Yep. No caution there.
That was driving.
Or my spin or DJ's. This is probably our longest green flag run on the night here. I think we go 20 or 30 laps.
Oh yeah.
Jim trying to stay on the lead lap here. Not quite able to keep it.
Yeah, I was just, we were just talking about it when we were watching the Charlotte race. He tucks in behind me here, and I mean, he's got pace. He's got pace. If he's got a good reference to go off of, like he can drive this car.
Yeah, absolutely. He didn't really fall through the field at all throughout this whole little segment of the race. As you see, Steven gets to the outside of DJ.
If anybody wants to know what I was doing, since we're post race now, if you'll go to my in car, you'll hear there's a little hump coming out of 4 that I was hitting every time, and that was my reference to when I could get on the gas.
Right there.
Yeah. And that's all really short track racing is: consistency, finding your braking points, finding your markers, doing the same thing every lap. It's more forgiving as far as speed goes, but also at the same time you have to be more consistent.
You got the Intimidator Jim right up in your mirror.
He's there. He's there. We probably need to go back to TV cam because we got some we got some action coming up here soon. Telling you, I mean, that's what I'm saying though. Like, just he found a good reference point, tucked in behind me, and I mean, he's turning. I don't know, he's probably a top 5 car on track right now. I know he's a lap down, but just he really figured out where his braking points were. Oh, I blink and then I'm around.
Something
Yep.
happened here.
Okay. Yep. That's yeah. I blink, and James already told me this, but Jim was following me, and I'm gone, and
Jeez.
so
Some dirty driving
yeah.
out of the 24 car.
No, listen. I always blink in the most opportune times. Like I will be solid for 98% of the race, but when it matters, that's when I'll do it. So, uh,
That lets Steven get right to your bumper. Trying to put it outside. Not quite able to keep it off the corner. Ooh, massive wiggle from James.
just getting off the bottom of 4 was really key. I know you wanted to kind of try to get to the outside of somebody in 1 and 2, but if you could get off a bottom of 4, nobody was ever going to pass you. And a lot of this right here was just me trying to keep Steven behind me, but also not use my tires up. And so I'm sure he gets to my bumper again here in a couple laps because, like, I'll get a little gap, back it off, and then he'll get to me and I'll push. And there's a lot of that in short track racing.
Let's see any action throughout the field. We got a little bit too wide. Jim flop down. Ed working his way back up, back in the top 5. Got
Yeah, I
April.
remember me and Ed talked about that. It was I just asked him on the restart before that. I was like, Ed, how you feeling? He was like, I'm trash. And he's worked his way up to 4th. I think he's working on 4th right now. And
Yep.
so I don't know, it's just like a big swing.
You see me back there. It's starting to slowly creep back into the picture.
Yeah, your unfortunate circumstances. You always like to spin when we have the longest
Yeah.
run of the race.
Yep. I knew. I knew as soon as I spun. I'm like, all right, cool. We'll get ready because we're gonna have a long green flag run here.
Yeah,
Little battle here.
every time.
Ooh, little door banging. Rough racing. Some short track. Ooh.
A lot of door banging.
Yep. All's good and fair. No spins.
Oh, it's coming. His breaking point in the 3 was his worst downfall. I feel like he was loose every lap going into 3.
Yep, he's so far not been too well, I say that, but he's spun out twice into 3. But been able to save it on this run so far.
Really hurting the tires out there. Big wiggle out of DJ up front. I don't know. This place was tough. Very, very bouncy. Even with a repave, it's very bouncy.
Yeah, absolutely.
It races a lot better than old North Wilkesboro, though. Old North Wilkesboro,
Yeah.
that would have never worked.
Well, Old North Wilkesboro is not nearly as smooth of a racing surface. Despite this not quite being the smoothest racing surface either, but definitely better than Old North Wilkesboro.
For sure. And I think most of it is they just repaved over the old. So.
We'll see our caution coming up here back in this group. At this point, I was just happy to be matching your lap times for the most part.
Yeah, I was I don't know. I know we're used to me going to a short track and just being a lot faster, but I really wasn't much faster than anybody this race. For one,
There's your
not to
caution.
throw the excuse, Griffin spins it out, but for one, I don't know if Logitech had an update recently or my wheel is unfortunately starting to go out, but my force feedback feel that I've gotten used to for the past 2 years is not there right now. Everything feels a little bit different, and so I had to reset my wheel right before this race, and spent a lot of this race just trying to get used to a new force feedback that is still has not. I have not figured out what has happened, but
I hear a lot of excuses over there.
well, I mean,
I'm just
I
messing
can
with
have
you.
excuses when I'm leading.
I'm just joking with you. But yep, to see our first pit stops of the day. Needed a little bit of fuel to make it to the end, and I think everybody wants tires at this point in the race.
Yeah, and the tire thing ends up biting a few of us. I actually think I don't know if it was following what I was doing or if it was just we all thought we needed tires, but later in the race we really hurt our track position just trying to get the tires.
Yeah, well, I thought the tires. I thought that they were just. I think they were more important than we might have thought they were. I think it's just
Well, when
that
you can't
you
make a
didn't.
green flag lap after you pit.
Yeah. If you can't get a green flag run, then you never get to be able to really see it. So I think our longest stretch there was 10 laps, and it's not. It might not have been that much, but that's just not enough time to really tell really what the right decision would have been.
Yeah.
We'll have our restart here. I'm back up into fifth after those early woes. Inside line not quite getting going. Ooh, somebody got in the wall there. I think it was Griffin. Ed just getting loose there, getting up the track.
That entry point in the 3.
Yep. Oh, there goes Steven. That might be another caution.
It is.
Yep. Yep, there it is. So we'll go ahead and skip ahead a little bit more. Go back to you. Griffin, you do a big shove before you're ready to go.
Yeah, he was trying to time me. I had to back that one
Ooh,
up a
there
bit.
goes Ed. Losing it again.
I think we lose Ed at
I wouldn't be
that point.
shocked. There's another caution.
I don't think. I think we lost him after that. I don't think we see him again.
I don't quite
Oh, he's
remember.
still back.
He's still on track. One thing
Something
about
took him
Ed,
out. I remember that.
one thing about Ed, as much as he might not want to race, he's typically going to finish.
I'm sure there was a lot of people not having a good time. I mean, I wasn't having a good time having to restart every lap, but
I was glad to see I was in fourth here to try to make a run at second.
yeah, and that outside, I mean, if you can make it happen in one corner, that's where you wanted to be, but you weren't able to clear Kyle, and so that's not going to happen this lap.
I just let him have it here, trying to get live fight another day. No reason to push it there, but he ends up pushing a little bit out of two. Everybody gets his inside. pace car really wants to be involved.
Oh, it's about to be in a couple laps. Don't worry.
Dakota didn't want to be involved there for a second. He's back now. Ooh. Just rewind it there. Take a look at that. I think just meeting in the middle, potentially, or unless Kyle got loose there.
A little bit, and he's gonna, lose a couple spots because of that.
Yep, it's unfortunate. Would have liked to battle that one out a little bit more. Let that fastest lap for about not even half a second until Steven took it.
And I think we just seen what it took it out back there in the back.
Let's see. Oh, yep, big wreck. Oop, and there's the 07 car. This one might not have been his fault. We'll see. Oh, what the heck just happened? There we go. And he gets tight again out of 4. Gives a little shot to DJ, and he's just not quite able to save it. And gets sent into the 60, and then Brandon nowhere to go. Just an unfortunate bit there. Alright, coming back to the green with 40 to go-ish. 45.
With a smaller field size again.
You would think that'd be less.
So we lost 3 of them that time. You would think, but here we are.
Once again, 24 car, giving himself a little buffer.
Would have loved for it to go green to the end.
Yeah. I was starting to figure out how to move on the bottom on the restarts. They're able to clear Griffin and maintain second, despite starting on the inside. Gets it gathered up. Hell of a save. We're going to rewind it to appreciate that.
Just that entry to 3, a lot of people.
Yeah. Gets it saved, though. Hell of a save. Stays green. Single filed out a little bit here. And there's our probably a caution.
And as we go single file.
Yep. Well, we went single file, and then we weren't. It's just DJ hitting the apron there, sending himself up the track into Kyle. Just unfortunate. A little out of control there. Hate to see that for Kyle. He had a really good run going. But we'll switch back to the old 24 car. For another restart.
What's our restart count? 8?
At least. This restart was terrible for me. I was in 4th gear. Just can't happen. Can't make this mistake from 2nd. I hate it for Griffin and DJ behind me losing some spots because of it too.
They should have expected it with you out front. Run the last 30 laps of the race. This is where you fall apart.
Hey man, I finished 2nd. Where'd you finish?
Listen here.
Yeah, sorry about that, James. I would have had the camera on so you could see me. But that 24
I
car out
should
front,
have just went green from here.
green for a little bit. Got cars everywhere though back here.
No,
Oh,
James said the show is falling off.
yep. This is this caution. I just came off
James
the wall. Just
is a little
not
biased.
even gonna have to. Let me take a look at my in car to see if I just came off the wall like an idiot or if I was losing it. Well, I just came off the
Probably
wall
came off
like
the
an
wall.
idiot. Yep, that's completely on me. Can't do that. Just came off the wall and
Shit.
not sure what I was doing there. Not sure what I was
And
thinking.
Griffin's back again. Are we surprised? No, we're
No,
not.
just an unfortunate bit there.
Well, just every week, every week. Doesn't matter if we're racing for points. He's gonna die at some point.
Yeah, Griffin. This was a tough race for him. He had spin earlier in the race and just tough
James,
for.
if we're being honest, you put your scheme on 2 weeks ahead of time. That was bound to happen.
See some indecisiveness from some people with 30 to go after the overtime, or with the overtime included. See Stevens stay out. Just about everybody else other than Kyle pops in for some tires, expecting us to have a little bit of a run to the finish. Well, somebody doesn't pay attention to the PRL announcement channel because I announced this at about 10 o'clock
Mind
this
you,
morning.
mind you, we're doing a bad job at it. Apparently, just just can't do anything right around here.
This is my little bit of strategy play that I think allows me to get the finish that I wanted to get here. 2 tires. Give myself a little bit of
Yeah,
track
2 tires was
position.
interesting.
I felt like that we didn't have as much left side tire wear just from the fact that we were kind of just not knowing Jim and me on a collision course there. Luckily, nothing happened. But I didn't think that with the amount of laps that we ran that um, I thought that I'd be able to make this gamble and it would be relatively okay. Um, and I think it worked out
We
for me
have
in the
yet to
end.
see that work, by the way.
Worked today. It worked this race. Not for the
Not
win,
for
but
not for the reason you think it did.
all I know is I finished second. I don't know where you finished. Somewhere in my rearview mirror.
Like I said, not for the reason you think it did.
Oh yeah, well, I'm sure. But we'll jump ahead to the restart now. Just I'm not sure what was going on with Kyle there. Stacks up the inside line. Go ahead. Oh, that's I believe we get another caution here. Me. Just 3 wide, short track. Able to save it a little bit. But with that,
With
we'll go
the
back.
common denominator.
Common denominator. That's one caution that I've been in
Not
all of this.
you. Not you.
Okay, I'm used to.
The other car that's been in all of them.
Yep, it's. We'll have to take a look at that as we go forward and make sure that we're being smart on how we're racing other drivers. But this caution, 20 to go. Restart. Kyle very far back off here.
Yeah. And so I knew how bad he was at restarts, and so I just jumped this a little bit, not gonna lie.
Well, I mean, no black flags, so I think it's all fair. And then Kyle just get turns by
So
69
as we were
Kyle.
saying, comment about
Yep, just
no,
gotta.
that's not that's fault.
Yeah,
But
this one wasn't his fault, but it is what it is. I mean, just short track racing here. I think just two cars going for the same space in the track.
oh yeah,
Couple,
for sure.
couple cars there, just narrowly avoiding that one. But that's our 15th yellow of the race. Uh,
Maybe the 17th. Who knows? I lost count a long time ago.
all right, but we got Griffin works his way up to second here, probably the highest he's been the entire race. Um, you in third, probably the lowest you've been the entire race.
Yep, and
You see this.
I do probably the one of the worst things I could ever done right here. 17 laps to go, and I treat this restart like it's 5 to go. So
The issue, first issue that came up with restarts with the switching of lanes here, because the leader's the 10 car here. So with Griffin laying off as much as he was, I actually got a black flag here for this. Obviously, we established earlier in the season that black flag comes as a result of the leader having lane choice. We're obviously going to clear that immediately. But just something to think about for the second place driver. I know Kyle was holding it back a little bit more. Just make sure the second place car, you're not doing this where third place or fourth place in this case is starting next to second, basically. And don't want to see this happen in the future. But I don't think it's going to be that big of a deal as we get forward, go forward into. I think it's more of a North Wilkesboro problem. As we see a little 24 car making a little interesting move there. Carson Host Far-esque. Nah, it was fair. But I was working myself out. Jim with the hell of a save back there. Yep, no problem, Griffin. I just wanted to point it out. I figured it was more of a just a North Wilkesboro thing. I just wanted to make sure that we address it going forward. Yep, absolutely. I just want to make sure we're not doing too much of that going forward. And the 24 car drawing out the caution.
yep.
Just like a skill. I mean, this guy. Now, just unfortunate here. Just kind of come off the corner. I think Griffin got a little bit loose there. Got it just loose enough that he got into you and upset you. Came around. Probably be easier to see if I was on your car there. Pace car once again trying to insert itself. As if it didn't get enough screen time. But, little caution there. And we'll skip ahead here. Too far.
That still haunts me.
Made sure I was in second gear this time. Brandon up there showing that short track speed that he flexed tonight.
Yeah, like we were just talking about it at Charlotte. Just quietly survives and ends up in the top 5 at the end of every race.
Absolutely. Big good cars back there. Oof. Nice save by James. A little side-by-side action for the GLM cars. Another good save by Griffin. There's a lot of good saves in this race.
Yeah, it was a tough combo. I mean, a little wiggle off at every corner for everybody. As DJ
Ooh, almost saved it.
almost saves it, and Griffin is dead again.
Yep, just
And
unfortunate.
the common theme of this season, the
Yeah,
common theme of this season, he is in
yeah.
the wall for
Common
something that
theme.
is not his fault.
Common theme of the season and the race. I know that I didn't want to see that happen because I was starting to pull closer to Steven there. I think if I get the extra 5 laps there of green flag, I think I get there, but never know.
Well, in the great, we apparently 20. Griffin,
Apparently,
to be honest.
I don't know.
Um,
I don't know. I
in
thought
the great, I'm gonna quote the great Ghost Savar here, Griffin. Typically, if you cause the wreck, you're not in it. So maybe that's something you got to start doing from here on out. Because every wreck you don't cause, you're in it.
green white checkered here. Luckily, it was our only green white checkered, which was shocking. I was expecting it not to be. Ooh,
Yeah.
I don't know how that wasn't a. Hold
I,
on a second. I don't
I
know how that.
actually,
Ooh,
you know what? Let's just. There's a lot to compact here. I want to go
let's.
back to the start box here. Um, I'm just gonna be forefront honest with everybody here. I drove like an absolute ass right here. I know I did.
Well, I mean, it's that new.
Oh, dude, I I kind of felt bad because I know Kyle had to lift for me, but I felt like I had to do that.
Yeah, maybe a little bit, but it didn't look like it was that big as that crazy. But
And then
then you
and
got
then immediately in the next corner,
the GLM. You got 2 GLM cars
GLM
there
breaking it down
into
here.
3, and then we've got the third GLM car
So
here.
for the fifth time in 3 laps.
Just no yellow from that.
Oh my goodness,
I was very shocked by the
that's
implementation of yellows in this race. So Griffin's still
that's
trying to
what
get
I'm
it
saying,
going,
James.
but
Race manipulation. All the GLM cars are in the wall, and there's no caution.
hey man, James has the ability to throw the caution. Easily happen. But as you see, Steven with the win just had the right strategy at the right time, and he was fast all race, but he pulled the right strategy to get out front, and he was able to keep it. Myself coming in second, obviously. North Wilkesboro having the 24 behind me. Um, but with that, hell of a win for.
You know, I was gonna turn you. But you got too far out in front of me.
I hate to say it, but that entire race, if we were running 1-2 coming to the finish there, I was definitely moving you out of the way. I wasn't going to turn you. I'm
Who you
a
were? I
little,
was
a little
waiting.
better than that, but
Oh, come on, you're gonna turn me. Don't do that.
I might have turned you. I don't know. I wasn't going to lose. I wasn't going to lose to you, that's for sure. But let me go ahead and pull up our race results here so we can wrap it up uh, as we watch Steven make his burnouts.
Well, James, I think the problem is Griffin and Jim break by themselves behind everybody, and then you spun all the way out the way because you were at the top of the racetrack. So
Yeah, the issue is you were out of the way, and then the Jim and Griffin were at the back. So I don't know. It was, but at the same time, Griffin spun earlier in the race, and it threw it there. And I don't know. It was the cautions were thrown very, very weird for this race because I didn't get the caution when I spun, and then Griffin got it when he did, even though I spun in front of the field and Griffin didn't. So I don't know. It was a weird, very weird race all around. But as we have Stevens finishing up his burnout, we'll go ahead and cover the finishing order. So obviously Steven with the win, myself second, little underdog racing, second, third, fourth. Good to see Brandon finishing in the top five, and obviously he continued that momentum to a win today. Um, DJ rounding up the top five, despite the plethora of 28X, the plethora of
Uh,
incidents he got into.
um,
Uh, but we'll try to make sure we clean that up. I mean, everybody think two cars with less than 10X, so everybody, uh, everybody, we're gonna have to work on cleaning it up a little bit. Obviously, some of it's short track racing, so some of it can't be prevented, but we'll try to make sure we obviously need to clean it up. We had 15 caution for 60 laps, so that's half the race under caution there. So um, outside of that, outside the top five, I had Kyle rallying for sixth, James and other James, Jim beating James there actually uh, for seventh and eighth, and then Griffin rounding out the GLM drivers in ninth, Devin in 10th, and then Edwin. I don't know why I called him Edwin. Ed in 11th, and then Miguel and Chris in 12th and 13th. So
you know what?
that's
Everyone wants to talk about me, and I have 6X. What now? Mr. 14X, what's up?
you scare people, so they back off. I guess I don't know, but that's our results there for the feature race of the All Star race. Fun little race. We'll experiment this one, figure out another fun format for next season. Obviously, James, the brainchild for this one, I think it was a really fun format. Um, More simple than we had last season, but still a fun race, a little more straight up. Good racing, short track. We'll discuss what we want to do for track type and track in particular for the next season's All Star race. Whether we want to move it to back to a mile and a half. I know we went to Japan last season to Twin Ring to the mile and a half track they've got there. Um, Definitely open to moving it back to a mile and a half track or something like that for next season, and we'll see. We'll see what we decide there. And yeah, it would have been nice to see some eliminations. And yeah, I think that we'll see. We'll have some, as we discussed earlier. We'll have some polls up as we get closer. I know that I'll start tinkering with the schedule for the fall season coming up to the playoffs, and so we'll have some polls going up. Potential polls can be with tracks that we might run, or even up to car. Um, so we'll see how it gets there. We'll go ahead and review our schedule once again as we wrap this up a little bit here. So, once again, we just wrapped up North Wilkesboro All Star Race. Moving to the bracket challenge, so that'll be real interesting there. See how that goes. With Pocono, Kentucky, Richmond, and Watkins Glen. So all different types of tracks from a 2.5 mile triangle to road course and a short track. So it'll be all different types of tracks there. That's just kind of how that worked out. Didn't even do that on purpose, but I'm glad that happened. And then wrap the regular season up with Kansas, Talladega, and then move into the playoffs.
Going to be interesting. With that many different track types.
Are we doing a show next Wednesday, James, with no race? But with
If he's available, I say we should have updated graphics and. Oh yeah, no, yeah. No, I mean if he's saying that there's going to be a bracket reveal, then I'm sure.
yep, at the very least, we'll update everybody on that for next week. But with that, any thoughts as we go into this off week and the bracket challenge and looking ahead, 6 weeks ahead into the playoffs?
I think we should see a little bit more of a mix-up second half of the season. I know not to do my own horn. I want a lot of races in the first half of the season, but I don't think that's going to happen in the second half of the season. We're going to go to Pocono, Kentucky, Richmond, Watkins, right? Like I'm pretty confident at Richmond and Kentucky. Pocono, Jesus, I mean, I haven't even ran that track, period, but like a couple times, and it wasn't in this car. So, and then Watkins Glen. I mean, if I can hold off James, I promise you, I want to win a road course. I have yet to do that, but James is obviously the favorite going into Watkins Glen, and
Yep.
I think Griffin's got good speed. Obviously, he beat him at Coda, so
Yep,
he's
I'm
another one to
looking.
look out for. GLM and as a whole on road courses, just a little SVG action north of the border there, but it's
Yep.
and then Kansas and Talladega, 2 wild cards. Kansas less of a wild card than Talladega right before the playoffs. So
Yep. I'm hoping I can get some redemption from last season with Watkins Glen, but I'm sure Griffin thinking the same thing with him getting collected into Mind Mess that during that race, but we'll see. Got some. It'll be interesting, and I guess we'll just take one last look. I'll put up the point standings as we get closer, or as we wrap it up here.
With winners, Cameron.
I was getting there, but I guess we'll go now. But
Well, the other one just doesn't make sense.
well, it does because we're racing toward the regular season because we've got regular season point standings, bonus points, which we'll try to announce within the next week what those bonus points may be.
Oh, my bad.
Something we slacked on, but there will be bonus points for regular season points finishes. But we'll get with hopefully next week we'll be able to reveal that on the show. But with that, this is what we got for the playoff picture so far. It's starting to take shape a little bit, but I mean, with the point standings the way it is, if we get you get a couple bad races in a row, you can be on the outside looking in very easily.
There's something I just thought about that we have not touched on, and since James is in the chat, whoever wins the bracket challenge, it's 4 weeks, right?
Yep.
So what do we do if somebody wins the bracket challenge without a win, and then they win at Talladega? Does the bracket spot disappear?
Well, no, I don't
But you
think
see what
so.
I'm saying?
I
If they
see
win
what
the
you mean.
bracket spot and then they win a race after the bracket,
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we can. I don't think we can alter the. We'll have to discuss that. We'll have to see. I think there's some merit in. We'll have to discuss that because there's a couple different redundancies that we'll have to have in place in that situation, and we'll have to make sure to figure out exactly how we want to handle that. Because I see what you mean, especially with us having the if you win during the bracket challenge, then you forfeit your. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see. We'll have to discuss that. We'll have that answer for you as well going into Pocono for that. We can review next week. But yeah, we're not sure on that yet, I guess. But we'll let you know. But as we get forward, I'm looking forward to the rest of the season here. I'm hoping I can keep my. Jeez, if I can find the schedule, there it is. But I'm hoping I can keep my, I guess, top 2 streak alive and keep my streak at top 5s. And decent finishes that have been saving me in the point standings. Hoping I can keep that alive as we go forward here. But yeah, you got any closing thoughts on Charlotte and then North Wilkesboro to messy tracks and messy races in 2 different ways?
I was gonna say it was 2 messy races in 2 very different ways, but we'll like I was saying earlier in the show, hopefully we had 2 rough weeks here. Charlotte wasn't horrible, right? Like it wasn't a wreck fest. A couple late cautions, cautions breed cautions, and I know the All-Star race didn't really count for anything, but it was 2 rough weeks, and so I'm ready to get back to having all 20 of us out there, and maybe plus a few more. I know been floating around 21, missing 2 drivers this week, then different 2 drivers the next week. So a lot up for grabs the next couple weeks. Nobody's out of it. If you're 19th in points, put you 4 weeks together, and now you're in the playoffs when you thought maybe you were out. So a lot up for grabs the next 4 weeks, and I'm ready to get back after it after next week's break. Also, tomorrow, we haven't touched on it yet. Tomorrow is an hour and a half at Spa. So
Absolutely, I'll go
looking
ahead.
forward to that.
I guess we can touch on that real quick before we leave. Probably should. But you can go ahead and talk on that as I'm pulling this up.
Yeah, so we've been testing. Me and Cameron have been testing a lot. Griffin got in there last night. I think we're gonna have a lot tighter racing than we have the first 2 weeks in the GT3s. Griffin's a tenth off of me. Just based off of what's the word I'm looking for? Based off a hot racetrack where the rubber's bit. What's the word that you used?
Uh, Dynamic racetrack, I guess. I don't know.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
based off the dynamic racetrack, which will be there during the race, which is the more important part anyway. Griffin's only a tenth off of me, and he's probably got a little bit more in there, and so I've got to do a little bit of testing tomorrow since I'm off and find me a little bit more speed because I was really confident where I was at, and then me and Griffin are like neck for neck. So, but after Miami, I mean, kind of glad to be close to Griffin.
Yep, absolutely. Griffin
So
dominated that race, and then
plus all the guys that are new.
you still there?
What do you mean? Are you still there? You were talking.
No, you said all the guys that are new, and then you just stopped talking.
I said plus all the guys that are new. I said me and Griffin are close, and then plus all the guys that are new. They're fast. They're a little bit better than us. That's all they do is race GT3. So, but I'm kind of proud for. I know me and Griffin are kind of a little bit of rivals, I would say, on the oval. Like he gets tired. He gets tired of me on the ovals, but just the three of us. And Brandon's been putting in some work this week. I mean, we're trying to get him a little bit on the speed, but I just think PRL versus the world is what the GT3 has turned into with all those guys from, was it ERG?
Yeah.
Is that what their league's called?
Yeah,
ECR. ECR.
ECR.
It's been a little bit of like a PRL versus, yeah, it's been like a PRL versus ECR kind of season, and Griffin's leading the points heading into week 3, and I was hoping to close the gap last week, but no, it's just been really cool to, on the oval side, we all are racing against each other, but on the GT3 side of things on Thursdays, it's PRL versus ECR. We're able to come together and kind of help each other beat those guys versus trying to beat each other. So,
yep, absolutely. And as we look forward, so we'll have an off week after this week for the GT3 series as well. So we have Spa tomorrow. Off week, and then we'll have Sebring. That is same week as, so we'll have Thursday, we'll have Sebring, and then that weekend following is the Sebring 12 hours on iRacing. So good luck to everybody in their preparation for that. I know that PRL guys, the Premier Endurance Racing team, myself, Dakota, Miguel, and Griffin, we're all planning on racing that, and we're starting to get practicing for that race as we go. And then we'll have that 3-week segment. But looking forward to Spa. We'll see who can snatch up that $5 reward for winning the first 3 races. And then that'll reset for the next $5 rewards for the next 3. But I guess one thing we can announce for this is night races. So we plan on having some night races, and this is subject to change as we go forward past the next 3 race segment. But Daytona is planned to be a night race. as well as we're discussing potentially the Nürburgring being a night race, and then past that, we're looking at the final three races as well to figure out which one of those might make sense for that as well. Um, but with that, if anybody likes some night racing, I know I enjoy it from time to time. Um, we'll have those. We'll have at least those two races. Nurburgring's a little bit still up in the air, but still, unless we decided on that, I'm not sure, Dakota. But at least Daytona.
Um, I'm all for night Nurburgring. I think that's just kind of where we're at with that. Uh, we really have kind of went 50-50 on the hour and a halfs. Spa's gonna be day, Le Mans probably gonna be day. So
Yeah.
to make Daytona and Nurburgring night would make sense, and then we'll pick another race out of the 1 hours. That lasts three races. Probably, you don't want Watkins going to be at night, just because you never run that at night. So probably Autodromo, but we'll look
Yeah.
at it.
Yeah, probably. That was kind of where I was thinking too, making Mexico City the night race for that one. But we shall see as we get closer um, to that as well. That's still a couple months out. But yep, looking forward to wrapping up the third race of the season next or tomorrow, and then we'll have an off week, and then be right back up and running after that same week as we get up and running with the PRL. But with that, I think that's all I've got. It's been a good past couple weeks. Looking forward to continuing that into out of the bye week and into the bulk of the rest of the season.
Oh yeah, it's been a good. Just want to thank everybody. I know we've had our ups and downs last season, first half of this season. I feel like this season's been a lot better than last season. Um, 20 plus drivers every week for the most part. The last 2 weeks it's kind of fallen off, and so I kind of hope we can get back to where we were at. But now just the 20 plus people, supporting us through the first half of this season. Just making, we had big plans for Gen 6, and I really feel like it's paying off. So just appreciate everybody for showing up so far this year.
Yep, absolutely, and definitely stay tuned to this as well as the Discord as we get closer to the end of the season because we definitely take everybody's input into consideration. Um, so if you want, we would love to have everybody contribute to how the future of the league is going to be, um, how it's going to take shape going into the fall, and looking forward into the future. But other than that, that's all I've got. And if you don't have anything, it's been a great show. Thanks to everybody for viewing and hanging out with us.
Yeah, we'll see you guys in a week.
Yep. See you guys next week, and good luck to everybody for the rest of the season. We're out.